Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. The ESPN put out a little piece today from Matt Bowen, who's a staff writer, talking about the top prospects in this coming NFL draft, and he was ranking them by skills and traits. He was talking about the best. For example, going through quarterbacks, most accurate passer, strongest arm, quickest release, best pocket mobility, field vision, deep ball thrower, instinctive passer, decision maker, all these traits. Like, who's the best at this in the draft? And it got me thinking about Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams. We know that oftentimes quarterbacks are compared against their draft class mates. How often were you comparing Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning there at that time? Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, Robert Griffin and Andrew Luck. Like, oftentimes you're compared to the guys that were in your draft class. It's why the Bears go nuts, because they took Mitchell Trubisky when they could have had Patrick Mahomes. Okay, that's what we're dealing with here. And these two guys, I think, are destined to be kind of compared against one another. And it's interesting to look at a non-biased media member kind of discerning the skill sets of Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams. For example, most accurate passer, he's got Jayden Daniels. Best field vision, Jayden Daniels. Best decision maker, Jayden Daniels. Best mechanics, Jayden Daniels. Best scrambler, Jayden Daniels. That's loud. To tell me that Jayden Daniels is the best scrambler in the class, has the best throwing mechanics, makes the best decisions, has the best vision, and is the most accurate. That is my dream quarterback. He's accurate because he's got great mechanics. When he needs to, he can move. He makes awesome decisions, has the best vision of seeing the field. Like, that is quarterback play. So what does he say about Caleb Williams in this story? Quickest release, Caleb Williams. Most instinctive passer, Caleb Williams. Best off-platform thrower, Caleb Williams. To me, it feels like Caleb Williams is a bigger risk than Jayden Daniels. There aren't a lot of guys that can do what Patrick Mahomes does. Read none of the other ones. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers moves around a little bit and makes some weirder throws. But it's really just Mahomes that plays off script and from different arm angles and just does things that no one else in the sport does. Trying to mimic that is scary to me because it can bust. I'm not trying to compare Caleb Williams to Johnny Manziel directly. There are a lot of differences. But in terms of like that freewheeling style of play, like, that's what Johnny wanted to do. And he did it so well in college, and that wasn't going to work in the NFL. Of course, if you're doing a steady diet of cocaine and never watch film or go to practice, it also doesn't work out. So it's not a perfect apples-to-apples comparison, but you get what I'm saying. Like, trying to do stuff off script against those dudes, like, you got to be some kind of special. And maybe Caleb Williams is. But I feel like if I'm making my investment here, which is what a quarterback is, you're basically sealing the fate of a general manager and a head coach when you draft a quarterback. Like, that's kind of your one shot to do this. Wouldn't you want the guy that's the most accurate, the best mechanics, the best vision, decision maker, and also with a bonus is the best scrambler? I mean, how often do you get a quarterback who's the best at all the things that win in the pocket and is also the best when he gets out of the pocket? If you would have told me this time last year this is the conversation I would have been having, I would have been like, probably not, dude. Probably not. But we watched Jayden Daniels September through Thanksgiving last year, and he almost never had a bad play. It's a different level up there, and it's an adjustment for everybody. But the more I think about it, and realizing my inherent bias, I'm not too big to admit that, I think Jayden Daniels is a better draft pick. And I don't think it's crazy to say that. We've heard Dan Orlovsky say that. And what I'm reading in this piece on ESPN from Matt Bowen suggests that. If you took their names and their statistics away, you took the Heisman trophies away, the wins and losses away, their names away, their programs away, and you just told me you can either have the guy with the quickest release who's the best off schedule, off platform, and has instincts, or you can have the guy who makes the best decisions, reads the field the best, is the most accurate, and is the best scrambler. I'm taking the guy that does the conventional things because I just feel like that's easier to bet on. Maybe they're both great. Maybe they're both busts. We won't know. Time's our only guide here. But as I think about it more and more, like I feel like I'm taking Jayden Daniels. Maybe they think he's too skinny. I don't know. But I like those traits more than Caleb Williams. We'll see. He continued on, and I think a couple of guys that got some real love that you'd imagine from LSU. Most explosive pass catcher in the draft, Malik Neighbors. The write-up here says Neighbors can float past defenders on slot fades and immediately shift gears after the catch to eat up grass in the open field. He's an explosive mover with big play potential at every single level of the field. Neighbors had 34 catches for 20 or more yards last season. That was the most in the country. That is Malik's game. He's got incredible speed, incredible ability to leave the ground and control his body, game-breaking ability after the catch. Like he's explosive. He's not the fastest. They told that's Xavier Worthy because he ran the fastest time in the history of the combine. But in terms of just being explosive after the catch, Malik is that dude. And then you got to throw some love to Brian Thomas as well, the best ball tracker in the draft class. Brian Thomas. The write-up says Thomas had the third-level separation ability and ball tracking skills to create explosive plays in one-on-one matchups, helping him average 17 yards per catch in 2023. And on throws of 20 or more yards in the air, Thomas had 12 touchdowns to lead the country. I think that's talking about running down the deep ball and making sure you can catch it in stride. Maybe it's tracking the ball in the air and going up and making a play, high point and things. He did that in Gainesville a couple of years ago and certainly has the ability to do that. I think Malik's every bit as good at him at doing that. But Brian Thomas in the deep ball is obviously really, 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 really good. And so that's the LSU representation in this piece that was written about the best traits in the NFL draft. I was looking for some thoughts on Olu Fashanu at the offensive line because it feels like the Saints have had him mocked a lot of different times, but didn't have him listed anywhere on this. Oh, no, sorry. Best offensive line lower body quickness, Olu Fashanu, offensive tackle, Penn State. When you're that big and you got the best quickness in the draft, that's a pretty good thing to have. Maybe the Saints can get Olu Fashanu there in the first round of the draft. But those LSU dudes, fascinated to see where those guys do actually end up. I think I'm willing to make my claim that I think Jayden Daniels can be a better player than Caleb Williams. There are a lot of things that go into that in terms of organization and what structure you put around him and the resources and the talent that you surround your quarterback with. Some are set up for success, some are set up for failure. We'll see what happens with those two guys. But I just, the traits, to me, feel like the safer play is the guy who does it a little bit more traditionally. We'll see. That's a thought from ESPN.com. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.